Invite those who are sharing witnesses to come one by one to the lectern at this time.
I can hardly comprehend that it's been 43 years when I met Pat. We were introduced at a fraternity party, and obviously fraternity brothers, a few others here that are in attendance today. 43 years seemed like yesterday. I'd been living in a dorm and was invited to attend a party at the Fayette Pie House, and I ultimately pledged. And that was the beginning of a brotherhood for me with Pat. I was lucky to have 5 biological brothers back home, but Pat was a chosen brother, and every bit as close to me. And it was one that, as a brother, a chosen brother, that we would stay connected for life. We enjoyed our college days, and just like many here today, they were remarkable times. We shared the academic challenges, enjoyed social opportunities, we cheered on the Illini, made lifelong friends, and did a few things that probably are best left unsaid. I was just a shy farm boy from Brighton, Illinois. And in many ways, Pat and I couldn't be more different. But then in a lot of ways, we had so much in common. I didn't have many opportunities to get off the farm growing up as a child before coming to U of I. But if you knew Pat, you also knew his parents, Jack and Ellen, just wonderful people. And they became very special to me as well. They welcomed me into their home. Jack, who had a nice men's store just a couple streets over from here, many times I'd spend the afternoon in his store just visiting, maybe shopping. And Jack took me under his wing and nurtured me. And just a wonderful experience to have that kind of Dutch uncle, if you would, away from home. And in true fashion, PH welcomed my daughter when she came a freshman up here at U of I, Maria. Couldn't wait for Maria and Pat to invite her over for dinner, welcome her to Champaign and make her feel at home. Never forget that kindness. In order to finish my degree back then, I had to go to a summer school session, and anyway, that was just about the best summer of my life. Pat and I, after a couple early classes, we'd spend the rest of the day together. There hardly was a day that I didn't spend time with him. We'd hang out at the pool, play some baseball. He had a love for music, especially this group called the Isley Brothers. He loved them. We'd grill at his house and just enjoyed ourselves. But after college, we moved on, but we'd stay in touch. And we shared special milestones with each other in our lives, our weddings, the birth of our children, holiday greetings, tailgating for Illinois football, special life events, and unfortunately the shared support of each other in the death of our parents, so on. One of the fondest memories that I had was when Felicia and I could join Pat and Maria. We went to the Rose Bowl back in '84. And we all know Illinois doesn't go to the Rose Bowl too often, so we made the most of it, had fun. really bonded again there. One of the other things that we really did enjoy was we kind of started a little tradition. Some of us were Cardinal fans, some of our buddies in our group were Cub fans, and we would every summer have a Cardinal Cub weekend in St. Louis. And those guys are here today, many of them. And just a little thing to know that I've gotten older and wiser. There's no way I would cram into a hotel room with you 6 guys ever again. But it was good back then. Throughout life, you know, people come and go, but this wasn't the case with me and PH. He was a friend for life. And I'm not telling you anything, but he had the gift of always finding the right words at the right time, the right moment. You never doubted his sincerity. He touched many people, young and old, had a remarkable sense of humor and wit. He could tell stories and jokes that would just draw people to him and have the crowd laughing so hard that you'd nearly cry. And yet he had that gift of reaching out in times of sorrow, with just a gentle handshake, a hug, maybe a card. He just had that gift. Wish I had it. Busy lives come and go, and they can keep friends apart, but fortunately through modern technology we were able to stay in touch pretty good through the internet and all that. This is a man I'm going to miss and will be a void in my life. And I don't want to be real sad because he wouldn't have wanted that. He wanted this to be a celebration, and that's what we're going to make it. But you know, when I think of honoring somebody, and when I think of celebrating who they were and what they did for others, it's a matter of carrying on what they did. Aaron, you were the ultimate daddy's girl, as any father here that has a daughter would know. But you were the ultimate daddy's girl. He was so proud of you. He called me within minutes after you were born, so happy. And, Pat working for the university, he obviously had a great value for higher education. He's so proud of you and Ethan for your academic success. I wish you well with that. Jack, I always knew you were an artist. Your love for music, and now with, kind of finding the culinary passion for a vocation, I had no doubt you were going to be so successful. Your father and I broke bread many times. Sometimes it was just over a pizza, maybe a beer and a broth at a sporting event, maybe a dinner at his home, and at times at 5-star restaurants. He loved good food, and he always knew that sharing a meal always meant celebrating life, a holiday, reconnecting with good friends. Even if it was just a olive bush, But I know that you will do well, and I want you to carry on that legacy for your father, and I know you will, and I wish you and Ava the very best in that regard. And I can't wait to dine at your restaurant, okay? And Maria, I can remember that beautiful spring day when Pat was out playing catch in Fraternity Park. And you were out there too with your friends. And then we met. And, the old song, Goodbye Heart, that was it. And there was nobody else in his life after that, as you well know. And I never saw him any happier than the day that I was fortunate enough to stand there with other friends at your wedding. I never saw him any happier when we conclusion, if we really want to celebrate Pat's life, and we do, we need to go forward today and celebrate a life well lived, a man well loved, a legacy and example for all of us to follow. And so in Pat's honor, I know I'm going to live a life a little more of stronger faith, a little more service to others, loving God, family, and friends. Thank you for the chance.